Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hygge with It. Today I wanted to share with you 4 booktubers that I adore that all read thriller books. Now they might not only read thriller books. Most people read multiple genres. So, you know, the people that I'm going to list here don't only read that. But they do happen to pick up thrillers quite a bit, and I really trust their opinions on them. So I wanted to share with you some of my favorite booktubers. So let's get into it. First, I wanted to talk to you about Harriet from Harriet Rosie. Now, Harriet is a British booktuber, and she actually hosts a readathon called Thrillerathon. I think it's in February. I'm pretty darn sure it's in February every year. And I actually didn't know about it until this last year, and I did participate in February. I'll link my vlog of that somewhere. Harriet definitely picks up thrillers that are kind of in the mainstream, but I really trust her opinion. She was the reason that I finally picked up The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. I think I read that shortly after Thrillerathon or during Thrillerathon, I can't remember which, but I adored it, and that is thanks to Harriet. I knew I liked Karen Slaughter, but she made me go and pick it up. I have to say, every time she mentions any sort of thriller, I am definitely marking it down on Goodreads, or if I already have them on my shelves, they seem to like just pop out at me a little bit more. So now Harriet doesn't only read thrillers, she actually reads a lot of literary fiction. She reads a little historical fiction as well, so she's very well-rounded. She posts really regularly, which is so nice and so much work to do. Like for me, just doing my sweet seasonal read series, that takes a lot of work, and Harriet posts so frequently. So I definitely wanted to share Harriet with you guys. Go and check her out. Next up, I could not talk about thrillers and booktubers in the same sentence without talking about Katie from Chapterstackss. Katie was one of the first people I subscribed to on BookTube. I remember I was initially excited about Katie's channel because she covered a lot of horror. And that's initially what got me into her channel. I think she was the one who told me to go and read Bird Box. And as you know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, that is my favorite horror book that I've ever read. Still, to this day, I haven't found anything that tops Bird Box. But what I've really enjoyed over the years is realizing how similar our tastes are in thrillers. We both love Gillian Flynn very much. She has now hopped on the Karen Slaughter bandwagon, which makes me very happy. Another thing that's great is she does a lot of individual book reviews, and when she covers thrillers in those, it's very handy for me because sometimes she might hate a book and it can help me to just bypass it. I mentioned that I was going to be reading Behind Closed Doors. I think it was for Thrillerathon that I was reading that. I don't know. But I was going to be reading that, and then Katie mentioned that she hated it, and then I found her review of Behind Closed Doors on YouTube. I think I watched that after I had finished Behind Closed Doors, and I just didn't really love Behind Closed Doors. And then she went through on her video and described each and every reason that I didn't like it. And so she's definitely someone that I can trust to kind of weed out the really good thrillers from the kind of thrillers that, well, might be wonderful for some people. Some people might love, you know, Behind Closed Doors, for example. But she really helps me weed it out. And thrillers, as you know, there are so many thrillers on the market, and it's very much hit or miss. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. I know for myself that I like thrillers with a little bit of an edge, thrillers with a bit of gore, that screw with your mind, that have really fleshed out characters, and Katie is the same, and so I trust her very much. I also wanted to suggest you go and watch Emma at Drinking by My Shelf. Now Emma, you can't watch her videos without having a ginormous smile on your face the entire time. She starts out every video with a glass of wine or a beer or something, and she's just chatting about books, and she reads a lot of thrillers. I think she sent a lot of thrillers. I think she works in the publishing industry, and I don't know if that's helped her figure out how to get more arcs, or I don't know what, but she seems to be sent a lot of thrillers. But that does not mean that she is not going to say her completely honest opinion. I really, really appreciate that from her. Now, we don't always feel the same way about thrillers. She is a huge Claire McIntosh fan, and I'm not fully there yet. Like, I have read 2 of her books and felt okay about them, but we might not have the exact same opinions on thrillers, but there's something about the way that she sells thrillers that makes me want to go and pick them up. Even the Claire McIntosh book, I have her latest one on my shelves, and watching Emma talk about Claire McIntosh makes me want to go and pick it up immediately. She's fantastic, she's hilarious, and I think you'll really enjoy her channel. And finally, I have to recommend Simon of Savidge Reads. Now, Simon reads a vast variety of books. I would personally usually link him with literary fiction. However, he is an enormous fan of Daphne du Maurier, and after reading Rebecca, I can totally understand why. And he also reads tons of thrillers. He actually has this amazing little segment on his channel called Crime Time with Pip, where he has his best friend Pip on, and they read a thriller together. And I just love their banter. He makes me laugh. Simon is incredibly witty, and their banter back and forth with one another really makes my day. I get so excited when I know a new Crime Time with Pip is going to be on his channel. I am still really hoping that Pip will one day have a channel of her own. I think that would be really, really great. But yeah, I just love their dynamic together, and who doesn't love Simon? I mean, who doesn't? So those are the booktubers that I would recommend to you if you like to read thriller books. Now again, these booktubers don't only read thrillers, so you can't just plop them in that category. They really do read a wide variety of stuff. They also tend to pick up that genre a lot, and I adore them all. So I hope that you'll go and subscribe to them, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!